Yes, it's still achievable. You still can get a full face of great quality, cheap, and affordable makeup under $10. So I'm gonna start off with my eyes first. I usually do skin first and then do eyes, but I've just been feeling like eyes first has been going a little bit faster for me. So I'm gonna start off by priming my eyelids, and I'm gonna use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer in the shade 145W. So you can use a concealer or you can use a primer base, but I don't have a primer base that is affordable, so I'm gonna be using this concealer. And then you just wanna go in with a brush and blend that out. And this just helps to neutralize your eye area, especially if you have dark eyelids. It helps to kind of bring the color to a neutral color to match your skin. So I'm gonna be using the NYX HD Finishing Powder. So if you're using a very liquid concealer, you wanna set it with setting powders. All right, so for today's eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna be using the Revolution Reloaded Iconic Vitality Palette. I really like this palette because it's very affordable and it has a lot of really nice, pretty, simple colors. You guys know I like to keep my eye looks very, very simple. So I'm gonna be using this palette, and the first shade I'm gonna start with is this warm brown shade. So I'm just gonna pick up that shade and not placing it specifically anywhere. I'm just applying this shade all over my crease area, trying to go above the crease and below the crease. So this is the transition shade. And with transition shades, you just wanna place it all over so that it helps to just kind of like transition the colors together. All right, so the next shade I'm gonna pick up is this dark brown shade, and I like to use a smaller and more precise brush because we're gonna be placing that inside the crease. So whenever you're placing an eyeshadow shade inside the crease, you want to get a smaller brush because it's going to help blend the eyeshadow a little bit more precise. You don't want to blend that dark shade all over your crease because your eyeshadow is gonna look muddy. So I just like to focus this right inside the crease to help darken it up and to give it a little bit more depth. So I'm just going back in with the brush that I used for that first color to help blend out this shade. And you just want to go lightly. You don't want to completely blend it out. You still want that brown to show. All right, so next for the eyelids, I'm gonna use this champagne color right here, and I'm gonna use a flat brush for this shade. So you can use a fluffy brush, but you want to make sure that you're doing your eyeshadow before your face makeup because fluffy brushes can leave a lot of fallout. So I'm gonna use a flat brush. I'm placing this right on my eyelid and I'm just tapping it on there. If you had an eyeshadow primer, the pigment would show up a little bit more. Comment down below your favorite drugstore eye primers that make eyeshadows really pigmented. I really need to get one. So I'm just going back in with that brown eyeshadow and just blending these two shades together so they look nicely transitioned. All right, so now I'm gonna apply mascara, and I'm using the Essence Lash Princess. So I love this mascara because it's so easy to apply on your top and bottom lashes. Even if you have really, really short lash hairs, it's very easy to apply because the wand is very thin. So for lashes today, I'm gonna use the Ardell Wispy lashes in the style 700. So Ardell lashes have to be like my favorite drugstore lashes because they're just really simple, very beginner friendly, but they have so many different styles, and I really like this 700 style. I did cut it a little bit so it can fit my eye, but I love that they're very, very natural and simple. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the skin, and I'm gonna start by priming my skin, and I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I really love this primer. It's a very sticky consistency. If you don't like sticky consistency primers, I don't think you would necessarily like this specific primer because it's a little bit more stickier than the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. But I really love using this primer because it really helps to grip the makeup. So I'm gonna use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. So this is the same concealer I used to prime my under eyes, and this is in the shade 158W. So I usually like applying concealer first to just kind of let that primer be absorbed a little bit by my skin before applying foundation. And I'm also gonna place this on my chin area, and I'm gonna blend the concealer out with a sponge, and I just like to lightly tap on that concealer. I don't like completely blending it out. I still want to leave a little bit of coverage, and this will also help clean up that eyeshadow so that it's nice and structured. And this is a really good hydrating concealer. I've been using it for years and I still absolutely love and would recommend recommend it. This is my favorite ColourPop concealer. Then next for foundation, I'm gonna use the NYX Born to Glow foundation. So this is a really nice $10 foundation. It has a natural radiant finish, and the shade that I usually use is Sienna. Sometimes during the summertime I use the shade Mocha if my skin is a little bit more tan, but I love this foundation. It holds up for a really long time, and it's a really nice affordable foundation. So both the shades Sienna and Mocha are really great for warm undertones. This has more of a golden undertone, and the shade Mocha is more of like a yellow, but they're both warm undertones. And as you can see, the coverage on this foundation is amazing. All right, next for contour, I'm gonna use the Revolution Stick Foundation. So this is in the shade F18. And I love using foundation sticks as contours because they're really easy to blend out, especially with the Beauty Blender. And they give you more of like that soft look versus using like a concealer or like a powder. They're a little bit harder to blend. But foundation sticks are a little bit easier because they're more of a liquid product and a little bit more light coverage than like a concealer is. So I just like to use a damp beauty sponge to blend it out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this Morphe contour brush to structure out my nose contour. And then I like to use the sponge that I use for the concealer to just go over that to make sure that it's nice and blended and it looks natural. Today I'm going to be using cream blush, and I'm using the one by Milani Cosmetics. So this is the Cheek Kiss Blushing Berry. And because this is cream blush, I like to apply this before applying setting powder, just because after applying setting powder, cream blush becomes really hard to apply. So I'm going to do it before, and I'm using a beauty sponge to apply it. So you definitely want to go very light-handed with this blush because they're super pigmented, and I think I used a little bit too much, but I'm just going to use setting powder to kind of simmer that down. So for setting powder today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Setting Powder. So this is in the shade Medium Deep 30. I really like this setting powder because it's a finishing powder, so it really helps to smoothen my under eye area, and I also like the fact that it still gives me that highlighted look underneath my eyes, so it really helps to mask that darkness under your eyes. So I would absolutely recommend this powder. It's very affordable, but it's a really good quality powder. So with this setting powder, you definitely want to make sure you're not using like too much of a full coverage concealer, because then your under eyes just become unrealistically too light, especially if you're of my skin tone and you're using this specific shade, because this setting powder is very much of a full coverage setting powder. So I'm just placing this on all the areas that I applied concealer to set that concealer so it does not move. And then for face powder, I'm going to use my favorite face powder, which is this NYX Professional Makeup Mattifying Pressed Powder. So I'm just placing this powder all over my face, including on top of that blush. So this powder really helps to simmer down that blush so it's not too loud. And I'm also placing this on my forehead area. And this will really help to also absorb all the oils from your skin that come from the cream and liquid products. I'm going to finish off the eyes, and I'm going to do my eyebrows. And for eyebrows, I'm going to use the LA Girl Brow Pomade. This one is in the shade Soft Black. And so I like to use an angled brush like this to apply it. So first I'm going to start off by brushing my eyebrow hairs upwards. So this helps me know where I need to fill them in. And using light strokes, I like to just start from the bottom going upward and just filling them in, making sure that they're looking like natural eyebrow hairs. And that's why I like to use a flat angle brush, because it gives me that natural type of eyebrow look. Even if I'm using like a pomade, usually I use a brow pen, but I feel like brow pens are sometimes a little bit more expensive and they finish really fast, but brow pomades last a really long time, but you can still get that fluffy eyebrow look with pomade. So for my under eye area, I'm going to be using the same shades I use for my transition shades. So I'm going to start off with that warm brown shade, and I'm going to smudge that underneath my waterline. And you always want to start with the lighter shades first and then go darker as you get closer towards the inner portion of your under eye area. And I'm just stopping halfway. I'm not going all the way towards the inner part. And the next shade I'm going to use is that dark brown shade, and I'm going to place that right underneath where my lash line is. so closer towards my eyes, and I'm also stopping this shade halfway. So towards the inner corner of my eye, I'm gonna use this light brown shade, and with this shade I like to place it right closer towards my tear duct area. If you have hooded eyes, this will really help open up your eyes so they look a little bit bigger, because people with hooded eyes have very small eyes. So you want to place a lighter color on the inner corner because it helps to open up your eye area, or you can place like a nude eyeliner right underneath your eyes to open them up a little bit more. And then right on the tear duct, I'm gonna use this even lighter shade. I'm gonna place that just where my tear duct is. This also helps to open up your eyes, but the reason why I like placing this right on my tear duct is because it kind of adds a little spark to your eyeshadow. And then I'm gonna place mascara on my bottom lashes. Alright, so next I'm going to put on highlighter, and I'm using the e.l.f. Baked Highlighter. So this is in the shade Rose Gold. So this is a really pretty affordable highlighter. So you can mix the two shades, or you can just use one shade. I'm using the pink shade right here, and I'm just placing this on the highest points of my cheekbone area and bringing it upwards. And I'm going to place a little bit of my forehead area as well. This is only good if you have a big forehead, kind of like a pointy forehead. And then I'm gonna place some on the button of my nose, and these are optional, you don't have to do this. I like to do this because I have a button nose and a pointy forehead, so I just like to highlight those areas. For lips, I'm gonna start by lining my lips with the NYX lip pencil in the shade Espresso. And then for lipstick, I'm gonna try something different. So I'm gonna use the Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick in the shade Rum Raisin. Now I'm gonna set my whole face to make sure that my makeup doesn't move, and I'm gonna use the Badescu setting spray. I love the setting spray because it's really hydrating. It has aloe vera, it has herbs and rose water, which are my favorite ingredients to really help hydrate my skin. This is very much achievable. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to thumbs this video up. Also check out my next video over here. So in this video, I show you guys how you can get your makeup to last for a really long time. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.